What were the major ups and downs of these last 25 years?
Oh my God. It's very hard to name some really outstanding events in particular. I think I just can nail it down to certain time spans, which is kind of the down of 92, 93, when like grunge was taken over and you know, general like classic metal was proclaimed to be dead as can be. People who got a double bass drum were looked at like shit, you know. It's like, do yourself out of here, man. You know, do bass drum, duh. And that was a hard time actually playing classic metal. And then in like 95, 96 it got better. And when we released Land of the Free, that was a big kickoff. The acceptance was there again. Cobain had finally shot himself, and you know, and things got back to normal in some way. I don't want to blame him, but you know, it was funny because even like the journalists made it even worse. Everybody's like they were searching like the alternative to the alternative, and I have a even more alternative than you, and stuff like that. You know, what the fuck. So things got kind of more back to normal, even though metal got more. Again, got more underground because the big wave was, you know, the flood was gone, which was kind of good because metal kind of is underground and should be in some way, even though I like it when it's big. But things were getting too much maybe. So that was cool, and seeing that it even rises again now is very, very great. Like if you see festivals like Wacken and others, so cool to see so many metal people together, and you know, we're out of the strictly uniform thing. I mean, you know, metalhead in the 80s was chains and leather and studs and stuff. Today they look like everybody, like whatever, but they still got the same spirit, and that's cool.
Absolutely. So let's speak about the latest release from Gamma Ray. What was the idea behind Master of Confusion?
Well, actually, we started working on the new full-length album, but since we saw that before the tour, we will not be able to finish the album, release it, and all that. We said, well, we don't want to go on tour naked. We want to have something to, you know, kind of support it, give the fans something new, show what the band sounds like today, and we came up with the idea of releasing an EP with at least 2 tracks that we already had finished, and we started recording, plus some extras. So some extras were in the end coming up to the 2 cover versions and the 6 live tracks, which in the end ended up in an EP that was pretty long.
And I believe this is the first recording Michael did with Gamma Ray, right? Master of Confusion.
That's absolutely right. And that was kind of more just another thing to kind of get it out, because Mark is new in the band, and so far people haven't heard him with us on drums and didn't maybe have a clue what the band could sound like today. Mm-hmm. And that was good.
You recorded a cover of Holocaust in the Master of Confusion, a band from the new wave of British heavy metal movement. I think, speaking about British metal, one of the albums that reflected Gamma Ray's British old school influences was Sigh No More, at least in my opinion.
Some way, yeah.
What do you remember of the time when you were writing that album, Sigh No More?
Well, actually, Sigh No More, I never had the feeling that was like very much influenced by the new wave of British heavy metal. Mm-hmm. Because in general, when I kind of grew up with the music, the new wave of British heavy metal was very important to me. Bands like Holocaust, Priest, Maiden, whatever came along with it. There were so many. Was my thing. You know, it was my shit. So that influenced me a lot. And Sigh No More actually was maybe after Heading for Tomorrow, which was more after getting out of Halloween, doing a kind of, it was more a project and a solo thing because I wrote all the songs except one, I think, together with Ralph, the singer. Was more like getting out all ideas that I took over from the times of being a Halloween, and some new stuff, being like completely free of doing what the fuck I wanted to do, not having any boundaries and stuff. And then it was a kind of search for, because we started to become a band, it was more try to find an own identity that was beyond whatever I did with Halloween. So expand our horizon and do something completely different, and that result was Sigh No More.
Okay, the Land of the Free album was also, although heavier than Sigh No More, at least in my opinion, had some also similar influences. Judas Priest, for example. The question I want to ask regarding Land of the Free, how would you compare the lyrical themes of the two Land of the Free albums? Lyrics.
Wow, I never thought of that actually. Maybe Land of the Free 1 was more conceptual, more concept thing than Land of the Free 2. Land of the Free 2 was more loose in terms of concept in the lyrics. Land of the Free 1 was really circling around one story, you know, some guy in whatever time going on the search for the real land of the free, for, you know, the real land of the free. Finally he finds out it is only in mind. It's not really existing, and you have to break down some barriers to get there and to find it, which is all here. You know, it's not to be found on earth, you know, in real life in some way, only in certain places and spaces and times. The general thing is in your head.
Okay, which brings us to the Hellish Rock Tour, because the time when Land of the Free was being promoted coincided with the first Hellish Rock Tour, if I'm not mistaken. So I was going to ask you, what do you remember of the first time you went on tour with Halloween?
It was very exciting, because it was something new for us. It was something, you know, of course, for the first time, getting back on a stage together.
Were there any personal barriers to break down, or were you already...
No, at that time actually everything was cool. I mean, there's only Vicky and Marcus in Halloween that I have any connection with from old times, and with them everything was cool already, you know.
Okay, just some question. The current Hellish Rock Tour ends in South Korea. Do you have any apprehensions on playing there, considering the current political climate?
Well, as long as it doesn't go boom, I don't mind. You know.
As long as there will still be a South Korea.
I hope so.
Okay, right.
You know, I'd rather play North Korea even, you know. I think people would love that.
I'm sure.
Fucking go for it.
The more you leave them without metal, the more there will be a hunger for it, I think.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, you know, I don't think they're only stupid and mind brainwashed, knowing nothing about, you know, the outside world. You know, I think there's still some people that kind of make use of the possibilities to get information, or, you know, see things different, or more critical towards whatever they're told. You know, you always have to be.